You're planning every detail of your wedding, and it can feel like you have to control every single outcome, but the truth is, the more you can let go of that pressure, the more you'll actually enjoy the day that you've worked so hard to create. Of course, you want your day to feel beautiful and intentional, but after being a part of so many wedding days, I've seen couples put so much energy into things that honestly don't really impact how the day actually feels. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed or stressed about getting everything just right, this is your reminder that you can loosen your grip just a little. Because the best wedding days aren't the ones where everything went absolutely perfect. They're the ones where people were actually able to enjoy it. Let's start with the biggest one, the weather. This is hands down the number one thing couples worry about. And it's also one thing no one has control over. And here's what I want you to know. Your guests are so much more adaptable than you think. If it rains, they'll grab umbrellas. If it's cloudy, they won't even think twice. But you know what they will notice? Your energy. Some of the most beautiful, emotional, and memorable images I've ever captured have come from unexpected weather. Rainy days, windy days, overcast skies, it all adds something unique. And there's always a backup plan. So instead of stressing about what you can't control, you can get to choose how you respond to it. And a big part of that is simply having a plan before the day even arrives. Know your backup options ahead of time, not just in theory, but clearly thought through. Talk through those plans with your vendor team so everyone is on the same page and decisions don't have to feel rushed or overwhelming in the moment. Maybe you decide we're going to be outside no matter what, unless there's lightning. And in that case, you can plan for it. Order clear umbrellas for you and your guests. They photograph beautifully, they don't block your faces, and they actually keep your images feeling bright and natural. Or maybe your backup plan is moving everything indoors. If that's the case, talk with your vendors ahead of time about what that shift will require. How much time do they need to reset the space? When does that final call need to be made? Having a clear decision point ahead of time takes so much pressure off of you in the moment, because instead of scrambling or second guessing, you already know the plan, and that's really the goal. Not controlling the weather, but removing the stress around it so that you can stay present no matter what the day brings. The second thing is all the tiny details that only you would ever notice. Maybe the florals aren't exactly what you pictured, or the decor feels slightly off. Something didn't come together the way that it looked on your Pinterest board, and I promise you, your guests don't see it the way that you do. They're not comparing your day to an inspiration board. They're just watching you. They're feeling the atmosphere, and they're enjoying being there. I've seen moments where something didn't go to plan at all, and truly no one noticed, because the focus was on connection, not perfection. So if something feels off, just in the moment, take a breath. Chances are it's not nearly as noticeable as you think it is. You just notice it because it's not how you pictured it originally, but it often still looks just as beautiful. And the third thing is your timeline being perfectly on schedule. Here's the reality. Wedding days almost always run a little behind. Hair and makeup might take longer, someone can't find their shoes, a wardrobe malfunction occurs, and often it's not because your vendors aren't managing their time well. It's usually last-minute changes, added requests, or small adjustments that naturally come up. This is normal. Of course, we never want the day running hours behind, but a few minutes here and there, that's not what defines your experience. And the good news is your vendor team is used to this. We're constantly making small adjustments behind the scenes, shifting how we work, tightening up timelines where we can, all to keep your day flowing smoothly and get things back on track. So instead of watching the clock and feeling stressed, you get to stay present and trust that you're being taken care of. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to remember if your ceremony started 5 to 10 minutes late, but they will remember how it felt. And my role isn't to add pressure to your timeline, it's to guide you through the day in a way that keeps things moving while still protecting your experience. Because you deserve to actually be in your day and not just keep up with it. At the end of it all, your wedding day doesn't need to be perfect to be meaningful. It just needs to be experienced. And when you let go of things you can't control, or the things that don't really matter, you create space for what actually does. If you're in the process of looking for a wedding photographer, I would truly love to hear from you. You can reach out through the link below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!